done, baby.
Do it naturally.
I'm every woman. It's all in me.
I can read your thoughts right now.
There's the great Cody Poundcake Brown
Boom,
and
boom,
the inimitable Shaka Khan, of course, for National Coming Out Day. A song that they collaborated on many, many years ago for another National Coming Out Day. I was surprised at how many people texted me that today was National Coming Out Day. That's not going to be on everyone's radar, but it's been going on for a long, long time. We're not the only country that celebrates it. They celebrate it in Switzerland, despite claiming to be neutral. The Netherlands, the UK. It's been going on since the late 80s, in kind of in the white-hot heat of the AIDS epidemic. They didn't want to be, classified. It was so much bad press. They didn't want to be classified, obviously, as second-class citizens. And so they're like, this is a way that, people shouldn't hide this. And so it started in the late 80s. One of their first spokespeople, by the way, was Newt Gingrich's half-sister, who basically looks like Newt Gingrich with a buzz cut. But Candace Gingrich was a spokesperson for National Coming Out Day for a long time. The point being is that everybody, a lot, and the thing was in the early 90s, they were like, most people don't think that they know somebody who's gay or lesbian. In fact, everyone does. And so that's why you have like Dick Cheney's daughter is a lesbian and Newt Gingrich's half-sister, people that they would just as soon keep in the closet. Oh, pardon me. That burp was coming out today. Sorry. And, of course, our own Cody Brown came out many years ago.
Yep. I think when I was like 17.
But it wasn't on October the 11th.
No.
You didn't time it.
No, it was
for
during
National
summer.
Coming Out Day.
It might have been during Pride Month. I don't remember the exact month, but we were on vacation in Myrtle Beach, and that was when I finally told my brother and my mother.
Well, they used to have themes every year, or they used to have slogans as part of the Human Rights Campaign. And so from like the early aughts to like 2014, they would have slogans every year. Being out rocks was their slogan in 2002.
Well, that's good. You start low because there's so many ways to go. Like you can definitely top coming out rocks.
You absolutely can, although the next year it was It's a Family Affair, which, again, not sure that's the way you want to go.
I don't know where I would be if I was not out. Growing up, I knew some people that didn't come out till they were like 25. And looking back on it, 25 is young, but it's still old to come out. Like 25, you're graduated college.
These days it is.
Away. Yeah, it's old.
Yep.
Like I know someone that is out and they came out when they were, 19, 20, and then now their sibling is bisexual and he's like bisexual at like 14. I'm like, damn. Like just in school, just not caring. I'm bisexual. Who cares?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's become, I think, one of the better characteristics of this is that people feel comfortable to do it. It's not a big deal anymore.
See,
that's why I'm always surprised. I know if you outlawed religion, all this stuff will go away. But I mean, I'm always surprised when like really old people will finally come out. Because it hasn't really been controversial for a while, and so obviously there was probably something else holding them back.
But I don't think
it's controversial.
I don't think it's that.
Yeah, it's not about whether it's controversial for society. It's more about who their family is and who their people around them are.
And how it's not even that. I was ready at that point when I came out. It was honestly, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but it was a last resort. I had done everything. I tried to pray the gay away. Like I've gotten tattoos. I took
prayed to the wrong God.
I got tattoos. I took carpentry. I tried to be with date girls. Like I had done it all at that point in my mind, and so that was the last resort. I was ready to buy. I knew my mom wouldn't, disown me, so that wasn't even a factor in my mind. When you get over the fact that you see yourself different. It's how you see yourself. I imagine myself like the rest of my family. The men in my family are all womanizers. That's all. That's one thing all the brown men have in common in my family. They may not have a lot of money. They may not have the degrees or whatever. Women love us. Just how it is. Is how it is. Is how it's always been. Don't matter what you look like, what you bring to the table. We have always had women cater to us and love us and just and we disrespect them. And so I always thought that I would fall. I thought I would fall into that category one way or another. And I mean, I also did. Women still love me. Most of my fans are women. A very small percentage are gay men, and they just love me in a different way now. But I had to get over that because I thought I was like, okay, I'll get married. I'll probably still watch, gay porn on the low, and it'll be fine. Like
what a life! What part of that would be fine?
I thought about that. I'm like, it's easier to just go along to get along. Why would I want to come out and have to deal with, people looking? I thought being gay at that point in my life was like you're a lower life form. I couldn't get married. You're frowned upon in society. I risk getting my ass beat.
Right.
We're talking like 2008, 2009. Every straight guy I befriend is going to think I'm trying to have sex with him, and
they're right.
Well,
it's
but
be a very lonely life, Bill. It would be a very lonely life.
But also, like, somebody just texted me in 2004. I was 27, and I came out to my wife and my parents. That's when you run the risk of like taking other people's lives in a full-on detour.
Oh yeah.
If you had a kid with them or something,
and that's the thing that we deal with. That's why guys stay in the closet their whole lives because they're like, I'm invested now. This doesn't only affect me, and so.
But again, I think my initial point, from my perspective, and I'm a dreaded cis white male, Mary.
Straight cis white male.
Listen, is that it's not the 1950s anymore.
But it's not that. It's not.
It's got to be partially that.
No, it's not. It's not even like societal norms. It's how you see yourself. A lot of these gays.
But if you're surrounded by
being with men.
No, but I'm saying if you're in the 50s, if you were surrounded by people you didn't know anyone like you. Now, even if you're in the closet, you still see people coming out.
No.
Yes, but it's coming out in a different way because there's a lot of gays that still aren't represented. There's gays that don't even like gay sex. They like men.
Billy Eichner's trying.
Nobody will see
you
the
guys
movie.
didn't. Nobody will sit there for 84 minutes. Nobody watched that Neil Patrick Harris Netflix movie either.
What's the gay guys that don't like gay sex?
Straight guys.
They're ace. I don't know.
Asexual is a thing, but I don't know.
Asexual is you don't like any sex.
There's some men that just don't like gay sex. There's some men that just they like the oral stuff. They don't want to do anything with the butt because they think it's dirty. And then.
But that's getting into a place where that part isn't important. It's just being able to be yourself and be out.
I again, the things that I deal with is I have trouble seeing myself with a man.
What I'm reading says they're referred to as a side. A gay person, a gay man who doesn't enjoy gay sex is called a side.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it's called, but I know they're out there, and I've met some. I've gone on dates with some of those, and honestly, we got along really well because I am socially awkward when it comes to PDA. Like, I think I look awkward holding a man's hand. I don't care how young or old he is. Like, I look awkward. Remember those pictures I showed you of my ex when we were like dancing at like a friend's wedding? And like we're all, we look nice and I guess we photograph well together. But just me being on a dude, dancing on another dude, I look awkward. It looks like I'm not supposed to be there.
But you would probably feel that way if you were straight too. You might not be into PDA. A lot of straight people are not into PDA.
Or aren't good dancers.
No, I hold girls' hands all the time. And when I dance with girls, I am just as it looks fine. I'm more masculine. I have very masculine shoulders. And me being with another man looks weird, especially when I'm being affectionate. So I try not to take pictures with dudes that I'm with or like.
I think those are a lot of just insecurities. I don't know if that's.
Maybe you're homophobic.
Yeah. I am. I kind of hate gays.
He's a self-loathing. He's a self-loathing gay.
I have a friend.
So tricky.
I have a friend from college who we're both like our group of friends were convinced that she married her husband, and as soon as both of their parents die, they're both going to be gay. Like, it's
Wow.
one of those where we're like, you guys are covering for each other until your religious parents die, and then he's going to be gay and you're going to be a lesbian, and then
It's like the,
Just
it's
make
like
your
the flip of
parents
the
mad.
old. It's like the flip of the old. Hey, if neither of us are with anybody in
Right.
20 years, let's get married.
hey, let's cover for each other
which
for a
never
while.
happens.
My
right?
advice is to make your parents mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's worked for Bill.
It is because you're.
They don't
Give
run
them-
your life anymore.
Give them a chance to grow. Be the person you want to be, and if they don't want to grow with you, then you can find other people in your life to support you.
Well, and that's my thing.
Like blood doesn't mean a thing.
They're like in their 30s, in their mid 30s, and it's like you've already waited this long to live your life fully. And again, these are speculations. We're like, I bet they're gay.
But
You know?
people are so, it's so hard to get people out of their own head, whether it's religion
It's always
or
religion.
familial relationships.
Well, and
you
it's
know.
the familiar relationships usually because of religion.
Yeah.
One of
And
them,
again,
the parents are
make 'em
staunchly
mad.
Catholic, where it's
Yeah.
like,
Make them mad. Make your parents mad. It's the best thing you can do for them to treat you like the real you.
Yeah, especially since you're not.
And it might put
They're-
some walls up. It might put some. It might fracture things for a while, but I think overall it's worth it to be happier.
They're
and
not
be
your governing
authentic
body
self.
anymore.
Yeah.
yeah.
That so many people will come at me. People will call me like political Joe. They'll be like, "Oh, you're so woke." Like they don't understand what I went through to get where I'm at. It's not like I was raised in this. I was raised in an incredibly strict, like Mormon upbringing, which is very religious, very Christ-centric religion, and
You can't ever
it
put
took-
yourself first.
right. And it took me a long time to come to terms with that I didn't believe it, and then also years before I was able to admit to my parents where I stood, because for so long it was something that I was doing in secret. So it's not like I had to come out as a gay person, but I had to come out as somebody that didn't believe what they believed anymore.
Yeah.
And it destroyed them. Like it made them so upset, but it
Came out as
overall,
atheist.
yeah, I did to my dad's face. He asked me if I believed in God, and I told him I didn't. And it changed mine and his relationship forever, but for the better, because he had to reassess who I was and not look at me as his young child, but as a man that had his own belief and own code and his own way of living. And you
Bill
can do
Squire's
that too.
amazing.
One of the funniest f***ing guys ever.
He's not woke at all.
Well, I think also the thing that Alan said, where it gets a little more complicated when people have kids and stuff.
Yeah.
Like another different friend of mine, her dad came out like 2 years ago, and she's 38. Like he came out to their whole family, and he's like, I've lived a lie this whole time because I didn't want to break the family apart, or because I thought my adult kids wouldn't accept me, or, like.
Well, I will say that religion doesn't always help people to come out, but to me, just in my case, religion helped keep me alive, because during that time in my life, I was nearly suicidal. Like I came out because it was the last resort, and the only reason why I didn't commit suicide was because I know how bad that would hurt my mom. And in the Christian religion, if you commit suicide, you go to hell. And I was
Right.
like, so I'm already gay. I'm having a miserable time here on earth. Now I got to suffer for eternity. So I was like, I might as well just live it out and see what happens.
Right, if I'm going to go to hell anyway.
I was like, I might as well just do some good sinning
Better
first.
make it heaven on earth, baby.
It'll be
I'm
worth
going
it.
to get some sinning in first. Let me
I don't
get.
care that you really were some pansy. You're my own flesh and blood, and no, you made me proud. My son's a homosexual, and I love him. I love my dead gay son.
Heathers. Oh, young
Yeah.
Winona Ryder.
Just I had to come to terms with that. I make I have gay mannerisms, and I just,
Mannerisms.
Every time you know
Every
it's
time he has gay
mannerisms.
mannerisms.
whatever it is, gay movements.
I got some gay movements.
and
Gay mannerism.
And that was what was giving it away the whole time before I even came out there. Everyone was like, yeah, you mean when you point over there and your finger goes like this? You have a curved one? I'm like, all right. I didn't think about
Well, the
that.
fact that you don't deliver the point until the last second, that's what it is. Because, like, if I point at something, the point's happening from the start, but you'll point at something and you go, and you like uncoil it.
I uncoil it. There.
It's called the suspense, building suspense.
Everyone that practices sodomy from the day of this message will get cancer in the butthole.
You guys-
It'll burn and burn and burn.
But you guys know how much I love spite. So I just really, I wanted to be straight so bad just so I could prove everybody wrong. All the bitches in school that teased me, all the bullies that tried to beat me up. Like, I just really want to be straight and just have, like, the baddest supermodel wife. So I could be like, yeah, see, told you I wasn't gay. I was just feminine. Yeah.
Well, Giselle's going to be looking.
You love spite, but it's doing nothing for you.
He likes the spite in you.
Well, in high school, yeah, I wanted to spite them all. I'm like, you know what?
But I feel like you still kind of hang on to that.
Yeah, because it traumatized me. Like, when you
Right, but that's what growing as a human is. You don't just go, all right, I was traumatized by this. I guess that's who I am. You can grow.
But obviously, it didn't work because I did end up coming out, regardless of what their opinion of me was. But when you are beat down every single day, I open up my mouth, gay. I walk into a room, gay. I sit down, and even when I use my pencil, you got a pencil sharpener in your backpack? You don't? Gay. Like, it's like no matter what I did, it was automatically gay, and it was used as a weapon. When the best defense was when I actually did come out, because then they were like,
They couldn't hurl it at you as an epithet
there was
anymore.
Nothing.
Right.
That was when I got into the whole, F your dad defense mechanism. Because then they were like, he really might. I'm not going to say that.
F your dad.
And also now,
But you don't regret doing it.
you're still ridiculed a lot, but it's not for
Got nothing to do with your sexual preference.
Yeah, your sexual preferences. It's for just who you are as a person, the way it should be.
Yes, that's progress.
It is progress. Gay people in this audience are just as angry at him for that as straight people might
I
be.
want to be hated because
For
I'm a trash
his
human being.
mannerisms.
For his mannerisms and his complete ignorance on incontinence.
And many, many other things.
Don't make me break the list out, Poundcake. Do not make me break that list out.
We haven't gone through it in a while, and we should
we
probably
haven't.
add mannerisms to it.
You want me to go through the Poundcake glossary again?
I forgot you had it.
Well, but the glossary are words that he has cut. Mannerisms is just a weird pronunciation of it. He knows what it means. He properly uses it. We started the glossary just because of the weird words that he was just making out of whole cloth. Just completely out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Politefully. Outroar. Managerial. It's like a vowel, the different vowel. It's just a slight twist on the fruition instead of fruition.
Mm-hmm.
Balsamic vinaigrette is the early.
That was like the first one.
Yep. I got all my brother's hand-me-downs. Yeah, he was reluctant to do that. Remember that? He thought a Charlie horse was a trolley horse. Gastronomical distress. What else is there? You said coffin skate.
Coffin
What?
skate.
Remember
Love
coffin
That was
skate?
famous. I remember that one.
Yeah. Coffin skated.
Coffin skated.
Yeah. Coffin skated. He had of sound and mind.
So much.
Instead of sound, mind, and body, of sound and mind. He thought the thing at the he thought the thing at the grocery store was called a conveyor belt. Folly, ollie, achin, free.
My favorite.
Yeah.
I'm so mad I lost that water bottle.
Yep. That word is right on the tip of your lips.
That's not that bad.
No, none of them are that bad. They're funny. He thought the thing that keeps rhythm was called a petronome.
I went through years thinking that.
That's when you see your
Man.
dog's tail wagging in a very rhythmic way. That's a petronome. Authenticality. He thought the shuttlecock, the little thing that you throw back and forth, is called bagmitten instead of badminton. Bagmitten. He said, explain it to me in just regular language terms instead of layman's terms. He said, what's all the hubbubaloo? Docile instead of docile. That's a very docile animal. Because that was my particular mindset of thinking.
I
Of
remember
course,
that
one fatal swoop.
Is
And I
that-
think the most recent one was when he was talking about dieting and he was trying to find a meal suppressant.
No. Well, that's really good. Hang her out to drive.
Hang her out to
Oh,
drive.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Britney
have. I
Spears.
don't know that I ever wrote that one down, but yeah, hung her out to. God bless it.
Oh,
Her family hung
no.
her out to drive.
Hung her out to drive. Yeah. Knocked over a tiny pound cake in my enthusiasm for. Yeah, hung her out to drive. A scapegoat. That's a good one, too.
GameStop was just like their a scapegoat, I guess.
Right. I mean, again, he's not the first and last person to do those. Anyway, so yeah, that's we haven't put anything on there in a while, but
That's a good thing.
God bless
I'm
him.
learning, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, every time what I say, every time somebody breaks your balls, that's one more piece of information you have at your disposal. One fatal swoop. I love it. I've got to take a break.